changes, we'll tell you.
Thumbs up means yes.
But essentially, it's going to be a situation where you come in and the person has back pain. So you know that the person, based on reading the report, that they have low back pain. And if they have low back pain, then you go and you start to do your lumbar exam. We'll provide you with the subjective stuff, all the subjective stuff. So all the questions, if you have additional questions, you can ask them. More than likely, your partner isn't going to be able to answer the question. We'll have to answer the questions for you. Based on the subjective information, you'll do your full exam. We'll probably tell you at certain parts, you can skip through this, you can skip through that. Just keep moving forward onto this. Like if you start to do range of motion assessment and you identify like flexion hurts, extension doesn't hurt, you have them put their knee on the stool and they bend again and it still hurts. So based on that alone, you already know what it should be. That's enough information for you to determine the diagnosis. And so we'll be like, okay, move on to the next part. So then you go from the motion assessment, then you're going to do your strength assessment. We'll be like, okay, skip strength, and then you go on and you start to do your palpation and your segmental segment stuff. You'll go through that, and as you get to the part where we think is, where the issue is coming from, then we'll be like, okay, stop. What did you find? What is wrong? How would you treat it? And it's going to be like that. So come prepared to do everything, and we're going to tell you to stop and start in certain areas to move you forward. I mean, for the sake of time, because we can't do a full exam for every person.
What specifically do you guys want to see? Is there anything you feel like we need to go over?
Like for example, if we said that it was a foot issue, the first thing that you should do for his foot issue, besides like asking all the questions, what else should you do? If we said it was like, is the arch of his foot.
Range of motion.
We want to curve the hip, but what do we really want to do? If the person came in with foot pain and you had to do an exam, what's the first thing that you're going to do after your subjective stuff? A lower quarter screen. I don't think so. But the lower quarter screen is the first thing that you should do for any pain in the extremity. So if you don't say I'm going to do a lower quarter screen, then you lose points. And we may make you start to do the lower quarter screen and then say stop, going to the foot and ankle assessment. So it's essentially, we're trying to see how you're thinking when you actually evaluate patients. So you move forward and you do it in a quicker way. To be honest, I think it's going to be me evaluating half the class and Dr. Vidal evaluating half the class. It's going to be tough for us to split them all up and do it from 9 to 12, unless you make them come in from 8 to 12.
Ooh. Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay.
So maybe, because I would rather it be us. So when you ask questions, you get the right response.
You could just tell us.
But either way, if you had a lumbar exam at the end, you should be able to tell us this person has a herniated disc and it is coming from segment L4 or L5, or it's between the facet joint between L4 or 5, etc. You should be prepared to do central PAs, lateral PAs, unilateral PAs. If you get a SI joint, you should be prepared to do a 4 test or a 5 test to determine whether it's SI joint dysfunction. If it's at the ankle, you should be able to do all the stuff that you do already. Same thing with treatment. If you could put your finger on it, you could reproduce it in your assessment, then you already know the treatment. And that's it. When we tell you what to do, everyone does well, so we need to make you guys think on your feet.
Fine with that.
Because essentially that's how it really is in the clinic. But you'll be fine. There's nothing to stress about. If you know how to do evals and exams, then that's cool. So essentially, if you had a lumbar exam, you would make Micah walk, look at his gait, look at his posture, Have them bent, fully flexed forward as far as you can. Bent forward as far as you can. And then you provide overpressure to clear the joint. Come back up, cross your arms. Make sure, bend back as far as you can. Make sure you provide overpressure with everything in the right position. Side bend, rotations, everything. And it's going to be the same thing when you do the strength assessment. Same thing if you do your accessory mobility assessment. For both exams, you should be prepared to do reflex testing, sensation and sensory testing. We may decide to make you do it. We probably will make you skip through it and get into more of the other stuff.
At least be able to answer a question on dermatome myotomy.
Yeah. And then that way we'll skip it. If not, we'll just make you do it all. But I mean that's pretty much it. As long as you can do all the components, then you're fine. And on the lab, it usually has it written out to where you start from the beginning to the end with everything in it.
I won't have to really probably Saturday.
And don't bring the clipboard that CJU had.
I confiscated anyway.
The other thing too is that
Don't bring
you
it,
you cannot be in the building until 30 minutes before your time.
You hear that?
You hear that?
No, you hear
Oh,
that?
all right.
When you walk out of here, no handshakes. No talking to anyone. Yeah, no, nothing.
Don't even
The way
Don't
it's
look at me.
practical, and this is the way it's practical is going to work. It's going to be more. They're going to be more case studies or examples. So, like in the past, we haven't had as many, and I think we should have a few more. So, it's going to be a little different. So, if someone gets degenerative disc disease, then someone else may have to set later on. It's not going to be the exact same.
All right.
Is there